You're gonna love this. Today I'm going to talk about planet rights on Human Rights Day. This is Craig Metrowich for Celebrities1.tv, the good news channel, especially in these challenging times where the world, the planet is in turmoil, as we all know, for obvious reasons. So this morning, as I promised yesterday, I did a vlog just to launch this, to say each day, I also need to be inspired to do a message like this. So thanks for your comments, thanks for your WhatsApps, because you inspired me to think about what could we talk about today on Human Rights Day. So I need a love, a like, I need a thumbs up, just to know that the signal is good and that you are online. Please also, as I said, this time round, send me your comments. I don't mind you sending me comments via Messenger as to some of the subject matter that you want to discuss. So what have I done today? Just to practice what I'm supposed to be doing, is I have got myself in an area where I'm pretty isolated. I'm almost in the middle of a sports field over here. Actually quite a beautiful setting. I'm in Pretoria. And what's interesting is people are observing isolation, and the smart ones are doing a little bit of sport and activities. I think the water in the background is also quite cool. So let's talk about human rights, but first let's talk about what about planet rights. What have we learnt that's been happening as far as the planet? So I think the first thing we need to do is we need to start to look after our planet. If you think about pollution, if you think about how we need to stop polluting the sea as an example. So the first conversation we need to all start having positively online is, what are we going to do in 2020, all of us, to make a positive impact to the planet? Because surely the planet should have rights. In actual fact, there should be a charter that says we all promise as humans to follow the following rights that secure and look after the planet. I think that's a great way to make a positive impact, is how can we look after the rights of the planet? By example, we shouldn't be polluting the air, none of us. So technology going forward should be looking at how can we stop polluting the air. We shouldn't be polluting the oceans. I love the ocean, so I'm probably not objective about that one. And we have done some positive things, plastic, recycling, the less use of straws, etc. But we need to proactively now make a difference. How's that? Conserving water, they must have heard me. That's another one we need to talk about. What about conservation of water? And using technology also to take desalination, wind power, solar power. I mean, there's so many things we can actually do. The technology is available today to make a massive impact. So guess what? On Human Rights Day, first thing I want all of us to think about is, what is going to be the planet's rights going forward? For any of us who've got children, I mean, I don't really want to be a successful person for myself. Honestly, I don't need that. I really want to be successful to leave a legacy for my daughter and to leave a legacy for my family. And most importantly, if I can make a slight positive impact on the planet, then I feel that I've made a difference to the human race per se. And what's cool about technology is, don't forget, your positive contribution. Janice, thank you for being online. Your positive contribution can be captured. Think about that. So let's get back to the theme for this morning's inspirational session in really challenging times, is planet rights first, then human rights. In actual fact, let's get a little bit philosophical. How about this one? Let's go God's rights first, whatever religion or faith or spirituality you have, and if you don't have that, that's fine. Then let's add the universe's rights, because if you think about it, apparently we've got thousands of satellites out there. So it's even beyond our planet. And how's that going to affect us? How's that affecting everything? If we talk about technology, what type of testing are we doing on technology before we deploy it? Because remember, you and I, we all want instant gratification, right? That's what we want. Instant gratification, and that's not reality. Some things need to take time, testing. There need to be protocols involved before we can be sure that it's safe to deploy. Right, so as I said, this is a proactive, practical look at how we can ensure the planet's rights are taken care of. So let's go. Universe's rights, how can we impact that? Planet's rights. I think a great idea would, for all of us, is to contribute in our own way. Let's say recycling. So on Human Rights Day, we're all going to proactively look at how we can recycle more. With this whole crisis, health crisis globally, the positive I can see out of it is we're all going to take a little bit of a pause, a stock take, and think about what we've been doing as a human race. We all need to look at that. What we also need to look at is this thing about instant gratification. Don't forget, because we instantly want things, we instantly want to be satisfied, we instantly want to be gratified. That puts a lot of pressure on the resources of the planet. Does that make sense? So let's then go to Human Rights Day. So celebration today. Thank you, Brian, for being online. Trust that the signal's better than yesterday and the sound. And really celebrating Human Rights Day in a place that's relatively isolated. I'm in the middle of a field. For those that can, I'll just do a little turnaround so you can see. I'm in the middle of this field over here. Quite a beautiful setting. Lovely sunshine, I must say. For those that are near the beach, I'm envious. You can walk along the beach. Mel, thank you for being online. So, for the people just joined, celebrities1.tv, Craig Metrowich, good news channel from Pretoria in the middle of a field. While I'm definitely isolated, as you can see, I'm far away from anybody. And really what I'm talking about today is, first of all, let's talk about God's rights, and I'm not talking a religious debate. Then I said, let's talk about the universe's rights. What are we doing to space already? You know, if you take the global population, I mean, we're already impacting on space. And I'm not talking negatively. I want to talk about how we can do this positively, right? That's my theme. That's my calling. And then I've started to talk about, let's talk about the human rights. You know what I've realized? This thing called freedom of movement, eh? I was actually a little bit scared to ask the guys if I could come in here and, you know, walk on the field. I mean, that's a bit crazy, eh? I'd never think of that before. But because of the situation, I was a little bit hesitant even to come down here. I saw another guy, we spoke from about 8 meters, which just shows the psychological effect of that. All right, so I'm going to head towards a wrap-up for those that are online. So my real shout-out to you and a call-out to all of you is, how can, Colette, thanks for being online, how can you make an impact on the rights of, let's say, the universe, let's go higher up than ourselves, the rights of the planet, okay, and the rights of each other. How can we appreciate and respect each other's rights? So that the next time I do a vlog on a field like this, hopefully it's a chock-a-block packed with a cricket game in the background and lots of people, or on a field like this, a beautiful car show, you know, with a whole lot of cars. I hope you can visualize it. Or if I was down at the beach, it would be a bikini contest, you know, which we all now miss. Or how about this, playing volleyball in a space like this, which we now miss on a day like this. And there's so many activities that I honestly took for granted that I'm now thinking, wow, you know, I miss those activities right now. So a shout out to everybody for supporting me and the channel. Go and watch the 161 inspirational shows on celebrities1.tv. We've also got a YouTube channel, and all of it is good news. I only have one absolute fan for all the work I'm doing, because often people ask me, Craig, why are you doing this? Where's the, you know, the funding model and all that stuff? And guess what? I only have one fan that is the most important fan in my life for this entire good news channel. And those that don't know me, it's my daughter. So a shout out to Gila, who I'm not with on this day. She is somewhere where she can also run around and play. She's with Oma and Opa on the farm. And a shout out to her, because guess what? On days like this, Human Rights Day, it should be our human right going forward that all of us can be together as family, as friends, that we should not need to be forced into an isolation because of what has happened, and that going forward we are going to be positive contributors. Let's talk about, in heading to my wrap-up, the toxic, note the word, the toxic impact we have on each other's human rights when we continually share bad, negative news on social media. Okay, so that's my serious, you know, I've got to have a serious message as well, because I'm a fun-loving guy. Stop sharing fake news. In other words, you're unintentionally sharing fake news. Go and validate the links before you share it. Second thing, stop sharing fake news and bad news. So let's add that. Stop being toxic on social media. And I'm not saying don't report what's happening. I mean, that's not realistic. Yes, report what's happening. In actual fact, go to the media sources that are internationally recognized and locally recognized. I'm just aware of lighting and signal. So, mentally, you're making yourself very, very unhealthy. If you are continually looking at bad news, continually absorbing bad news, it is not good for your health. It's not good for your immune system, by the way. And that is in line with what's happening globally. So I want all of us to be optimistic realists. Okay, I'm going to pause. Optimistic realists. Not rah-rah. If you're sick, you know what to do. If you're feeling great, you also know what to do. And if you are in a positive environment, count your many blessings and appreciate it. Paul, thanks for being online. I just want to head towards what the theme was and the wrap-up. So I challenge all of us. Let's go a higher level. Acknowledge that we didn't create the universe and we didn't create this planet. All right? Until somebody proves otherwise, I think we all need to buy into that. Let's look after our planet. Let's look after each other. Let's take away our selfishness and our narcissism. Because let's be blunt, you know, these people with millions and billions of followers. Now's your time if you're an influencer. Okay, now's your time as an influencer to make a positive contribution. If you're a billionaire, now's your time to put all that money into finding cures for these pandemics. And there will be more to come. If you're broke and on the bones of you know what, then guess what? The best thing you can do is avoid all the negativity, because that is going to take you into a complete emotional negative spiral. We don't need that. I want you to be the best you. I want you to shine your best in these challenging times. Be careful what you post on social media, because guess what? If you can't handle the pressure now and you're cracking and nothing happens to you, it'll be there forever, in perpetuity. Note the word. Anything you post on social media on any given day, even if you think you can delete it, it's not deleted. It is always there in perpetuity. So on a positive closing message, on Human Rights Day, let us acknowledge that having the basics of human rights, for example, freedom of movement, being able to hug and kiss, be able to shake hands, all those things are very, very special rights. The fact that legislation is in place to secure and ensure our rights. So I'd like all of us as citizens of this beautiful planet, which it still is, to behave ourselves and to have respect for each other's rights. This is the Good News Channel. Craig Metrowich, celebrities1.tv. I want you to share the good news. I want you to make a positive impact. And I want us together to get through these volatile, roller coaster, challenging times. That is the Human Rights Wrap. This is the Good News Channel. Have a fabulous, special day.